Greetings and welcome to the College of Graduate Studies. My name is Cheryl Cowan and I'm an associate with the College of Graduate Studies. Today I have the opportunity to chat with Marc DeLarco, our dean, actually the founding dean of the College of Graduate Studies here at San Jose State University. Dean DeLarco, could you tell the audience first a little bit about your background?
Sure, Cheryl. Thank you very much. I guess I can start when I was a child that I was really a science enthusiast from very early. I loved living creatures. I wanted to be a biologist since probably I was about 6 or 7 years old. And then when I was a little bit older, I decided that the perfect career would be to be a marine biologist because then I could study living creatures and hang out at the beach, which struck me as a perfect career opportunity. When I got to college, I intended to major in biology, but as I started to take some coursework, I realized that, at least from my perspective, the key to understanding life was understanding chemistry. And so I actually ended up becoming a chemistry major rather than a biology major, and I fell in love with that field. And then I completed my bachelor's degree at Bridgewater State College, which is a state college in Massachusetts, went on to get my PhD at the University of Illinois, where I further studied the chemistry of life molecules, and then went on to do a postdoctoral research opportunity at Harvard University for a couple of years, where I studied bioorganic chemistry. Once I got started in an independent career, I focused my attention on medicinal chemistry. So I did come back to biology, but through the perspective of chemistry. And we were really focused on trying to develop new medicines for treatment of cancer and also of diabetes.
And then how did you end up coming to San Jose State and becoming the founding dean of the college?
Well, I came to San Jose State in 2007. When I came as a faculty member, and I continued to do my teaching and my research in the chemistry of life sciences. I was actually hired as a biochemist, which is interesting because that's not what I was trained in specifically. And then in 2015, I actually had an opportunity to start to do some more administrative work as the Associate Dean of Research in the College of Science. And what I discovered was that as exciting and interesting as it was to do the research myself, it was equally exciting to be able to support other people doing their research. And so I sort of got the bug to do administrative work. And then in 2019, I had the great opportunity, as you mentioned earlier, to be the founding dean of the College of Graduate Studies, which is a new college at San Jose State University. In fact, it's the only College of Graduate Studies in the CSU system. And we have the opportunity to try to craft a college that will be a real support structure for our wonderful graduate students.
Thanks for letting us know about that. I just want to mention, I know a lot of people out there are working and have children. You want to tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. My wife is a software engineer, and Maria works in a medium-sized startup company here in the Silicon Valley. I have 2 kids, a daughter who is 11 years old and a son who is 8 years old. My daughter is starting middle school, 6th grade tomorrow, fully online, which leaves her slightly nervous, but she's also excited about it. And my son is starting 4th grade. My daughter's passions are gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics in particular, and piano, which she plays very beautifully. And my son is also a piano player, and he loves ice hockey.
I understand that you play a little ice hockey yourself, don't you?
Yes, well, I haven't played recently, but I have played for most of my life, and I'm not very good at it, but it is a wonderful sport, and I really do enjoy it.
Well, thank you for telling us a little bit more about yourself. Now that we know a little bit about you, could you please explain to the audience a little bit about what a dean does? Not everybody is familiar with what a dean does.
Yeah, that's a great question. You mentioned my son. I had tried to explain to him what a dean's role was, and I told him a lot of the things that I do. And then at one point, he was talking to a friend of his, and it came up that my job was to be a dean, and the friend said, well, what's a dean? And my son summed it up so beautifully. He said, oh, a dean helps students. And I thought, yes, that is a succinct brilliant explanation for what a dean does. So I'm sticking with that as my answer. But I suspect you want a little bit more detail. So I'll tell you that as an inaugural dean of a college, I have the great privilege of being able to work with a wonderful team, including you, Cheryl, to try to put together a new college which has as its primary mission the support of our more than 8,000 graduate students at San Jose State University. And so we get to have the real pleasure of thinking hard about what are the things that we can build that will really help our students propel themselves academically and professionally as they go through their time at San Jose State University.
Well, it sounds like that's a big job that you've got. You've been in the role now for over a year. As I said, you were the founder of the founding dean of the college. Can you let us know what some of your goals are for the college over the coming year? I know this is a tough year, and we can't accomplish perhaps everything we'd like to, but could you give us an idea of your vision?
Sure. I think it's fair to say that we have an awful lot of goals, so I'm certainly not going to enumerate all the things that we hope to accomplish, but I will focus maybe on three things that I think we can get a good start on this in the coming year, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. The first is, I think we really want to look hard at our admissions and evaluation processes and assure that they're equitable and inclusive for all of our students. I think it's really important that we provide a fair and equitable educational process for everyone who goes to school at San Jose State University. Our second major goal is going to be to try to find more ways to support graduate students. A variety of areas, but one area in particular that I think we could really support is professional development. We already do some things, as you know, Cheryl. We have a networking event. We have a grad slam, which is an opportunity for students to present their thesis research in 3 minutes, which is a really fun event. But I think there's quite a bit more that we could do in terms of helping to support student professional development, all the way across the spectrum, from writing to other forms of communication, oral communication, elevator pitches, things like that. And then I guess the third area that I hope we can make some progress in the coming year is I would like to make sure that our new graduate programs get off to a great start. We're growing, and we have some really exciting programs that are starting this fall. For example, we have a master's degree in data science that's being offered out of our College of Science. We have a master's degree in artificial intelligence being offered for the first time out of our College of Engineering. We have a Doctor of Audiology program that's launching this fall in our College of Health and Human Sciences. And there are others as well. I've just mentioned three. And so I want to really work hard to try to make sure those get off to a good start. And then also to partner with the creative faculty at SJSU to help build the new programs that are going to be serving our community and our students in the coming years.
Well, those are some hefty goals, and I look forward to working with you to see if I can help in any way. But before we go today, and I appreciate your thoughts, but before we leave, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to say to our students?
Well, I guess I'd like to reiterate my welcome to all of you for coming to San Jose State University. I know that this is a strange semester because of the COVID-19 situation, but this will pass. And when you come to campus, I hope that we will be building a vibrant environment for you to participate in. And I hope we'll get a chance to interact personally, perhaps at one of these events, perhaps at a grad slam, perhaps at a networking event. Please be looking for opportunities in the College of Graduate Studies to connect with us, with each other, and with our faculty.
Well, on that positive note, I think we'll end our time together today. Thank you so much, Dean DeLarco.
Thank you very much, Cheryl.